We begin tonight keeping them honest, with the White House acting as if the public simply does not deserve to know the president's thinking about the key issue behind arguably one of the biggest decisions he's made so far, which frankly is a bit strange. We know in great detail why the president decided to pull this country out of the Paris Accord on global warming. He said so in no uncertain terms, and you can agree or disagree with his reasoning. That's not the issue here. This is, we do not know what the president actually believes about global warming, which, as I said, is a bit odd because it's a simple yes or no. And it's not as if he and others haven't been, or we and others haven't been asking about it. In fact, for 3/4 of an hour today, his spokesman, along with his EPA administrator, dodged the central question about the central issue. Does the president believe, as he said in the campaign, that global warming is a hoax? You'll remember Sean Spicer was asked about it on Tuesday.
Can you say whether or not the president believes that human activity is contributing to the warming of the climate?
Honestly, I haven't asked him.
Okay.
I can get back to you.
Well, he hadn't asked, but said that he could get back. But apparently, he didn't ask. Then something happened.
The United States will withdraw from the Paris Climate Accord.
So that's why we're asking. It seems self-evident that on the verge of ditching the climate change accord, people might want to know whether the president still thought the entire subject was a hoax. As you saw, the White House thought otherwise and still did even after the president announced his decision.
Does the president believe climate change is a hoax?
This is not about whether climate change is occurring or not.
Does President Trump still believe climate change is a hoax?
What President Trump believes is he was elected to grow the U.S. economy.
But with all due respect, Gary, you're not answering the question.
I'm answering what the president is committed to. You're going to have to ask him. You're going to actually have to ask him.
Does he believe global warming is a hoax?
He believes in clean air, clean water, a clean environment.
I'll ask it one more time. Does he believe global warming is a hoax?
You should ask him that.
Well, that brings us to this afternoon's White House briefing.
Now it's been 48, 72 hours. What does the president actually believe about climate change? Does he still believe it's a hoax? Could you clarify that, since apparently nobody else in the White House can?
Yeah, I have not had an opportunity to have that discussion.
You're the EPA administrator. Shouldn't you be able to tell the American people whether or not the president still believes that climate change is a hoax? Where does he stand?
As I indicated several times through the process, there's enough to deal with respect to the Paris Agreement and making an informed decision about this important issue. That's what our focus has been over the last several weeks. I've answered the question a couple times.
Keeping him honest, neither he nor Sean Spicer nor Kellyanne Conway nor the president himself have actually answered the question. They have responded to a question, but they actually haven't answered it. The idea that you saw some of them suggest that we'll need to ask the president ourselves, we'd love to. The president hasn't taken a single question from the press for almost 3 weeks. We'd ask him about his views on global warming and the Russia investigation, because on the latter, Sean Spicer now has a new tactic from the press podium, referring all questions to that subject to the president's outside counsel. So net on two of the most pressing issues facing this administration, arguably, the new line is basically, don't ask us.